A little more. All right. Excellent. Thank you, guys. So proud of you. All right, man, I love that. That's starting 27 on a whole nother level. We're getting started. You know, I want to talk to you a minute. I know a lot of you are sitting out there, and I mean, everyone up here had sat out there at some time, and now they're up here. And every one of them have fought some fears. We all have fears. Fears that we might fail, fears that we'll lose someone on our team, fears that we won't reach that next promotion or hit your next goal, fears that we'll let our family down. It's okay to have fears, that's natural. What I'm challenging you to do is not let those fears allow you to lose your focus. You see, when you're focused, when you're committed, you can overcome those fears. When you have focus, your sight is on the target. You know where you're going. You know what next step to take. You're putting one foot in front of the other. Sometimes you might be running. Sometimes you might be crawling. But you stay focused on the target. Remaining focused allows you to wear blinders to block out all the fear. Now, you're not doing this alone. We're one team here. We support one another. We know we're better together. When we are united, we can rise above anything. We hold each other accountable. We won't let each other get distracted because we know the power of focus. Putting one foot in front of the next.
I gotta try this. We are.
It works.
Catch me outside. How about that? It does work.
Team, welcome to the conference, my friend, Nick Walinda. Nick, how are you doing that right now?
What's up, It Works family? Come on, I'm a long way up. I can hardly hear you. I said, what's up, It Works family? All right, well, how do I do it? You mean besides confianza, right?
Right, a lot of confianza.
Yeah, that's how it all starts. But, you know, in reality, my family's done this for a long time. Actually, I'm a 7th generation member of the family. We've been doing it for over 200 years, believe it or not. We started back in the 1780s. This is my legacy. My great-grandfather brought our family over to the United States from Europe in 1928 to perform on Ringling Brothers. And we've been performing here ever since. I am absolutely honored to be here and excited to represent the It Works team.
Wow, let's give Nick a hand. That's amazing up there right now. I know I have a fear of heights, Nick. I'm so proud of you, but I'm sure you've had obstacles that come your way. In our business, it might be a slow month. It could be health-related. Life happens, and that's okay. But how do you keep focused?
You know, it's something that I've trained for my entire life. Of course, there's always hurdles. There's always challenges. But I always train to focus on the rock on the other end. When I was walking over the Grand Canyon, it was literally a rock. but I focus on the other side. I don't look at the surroundings. When I walked across Niagara Falls, I was focusing on the other side. I wasn't focusing on the water that was churning below me, the mist that was so heavy that was nearly blinding, or the 20 to 30 mile an hour winds that I was facing. I continued to focus on the other side, and I knew that if I can remain focused on that, that I would make it there safely.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome, Nick. That relates to every one of us. We do have obstacles. Some of us even hit a slump. Whether you didn't reach your goal or you have a naysayer that didn't believe in you. Have you ever had a slump?
Yeah, of course. There's been different situations that I've faced. But there's 3 words that I've lived by and my family have lived by for generations. And those are never give up. Throughout seeking permission to walk across Niagara Falls, I actually had to change 2 laws in 2 countries that were over 100 years old just to get permission. And I can't tell you the countless times that doors were closed in my face. And there were times where I felt like giving up. But I knew that if I kept focusing on my goal, that I would achieve it. So as I continued, I remained a man of integrity. I always kept God number 1, and he was always the focal point. And with him, all things are possible.
You get me pumped up, Nick. Not enough to get up there with you, but I'm thinking of some
Come on, we're
obstacles.
going to turn around and go back.
I'm thinking of some obstacles that don't look so big right now, or some things that have slowed us down that won't slow us down anymore. Just proud of you for being up there and the man you are and the example you set to us. Niagara Falls, I can't even imagine going across Niagara Falls.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too bad.
Now that's a whole nother level. Hey, Nick, did you want to take a break? Is that a
the hard part's
timeout?
getting back up.
Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. So, Nick, what would you tell our team down here? They all got big goals. We're going to make 2017 a big year. What would you say? Are you praying?
I'm always praying. I've learned in life that anything is possible. Again, through the challenges that I've faced, whether it be the winds of 52 miles per hour while crossing the Grand Canyon, over 1,500 feet up without any safeties, or changing those laws in Niagara Falls, it didn't matter what I was facing. I knew that if I focused on my goals and if I worked at it, that no matter what hurdle came in my way, I was going to be able to achieve my goal and achieve my dreams. So I always try to encourage people, don't allow your mind to go to negative places. It's very easy for us to focus on the negative. For some reason, our brains are kind of trained that way, that we always focus on the negative. I kind of relate it to, and I talk about it in my book, Balance, but when I would get in a fight with my wife, I always would remember all the bad times instead of the 17 years of great times. So I encourage people, don't allow your minds to go to those negative places. When I walked over the Grand Canyon, leading up to that, I trained with winds of 90 miles per hour on a cable the same length. So when I got hit with 52 mile an hour winds, my mind wanted to go to that spot of negative. But I told myself, no, don't allow your mind to go there, but focus on the positive. You've trained for stronger winds. You've trained for worse conditions. You can make it to the other side. And I was able to make it there.
Nick, I got a tough. I've been watching what's happened to you lately. We've got a lot of people in this audience. I know some that health-wise have taken a fall. I know some in their business have taken a fall. And, we had Rocky here last year, and Sly said to us, it's not how hard you get hit, it's how quickly you get back up. But,
That's right.
You got knocked down a couple days ago, and I'm amazed you're back up there. What an example for all of us that.
I did. So for those of you who don't know, we've been training for the last 2 months as a family to perform the 8-person pyramid on the wire. We were extremely successful until 2 days ago. Me and my family were up about 28 feet. We were halfway across that wire and the pyramid collapsed. By the glory of God and God's grace, I was able to catch the wire along with 2 other members. But 5 people went all the way down to the ground. But I can tell you that when you believe in God and put Him first, He goes before you. You know, there's an enemy out there, and he seeks to kill and destroy us, but he wasn't successful. 2 of the members that fell walked out of the hospital the following day on their own 2 feet. The other 3 are still in the hospital, but praise God, they're all alive. They're all breathing.
Woo! I'm feeling better now, Nick, seeing you all the way across.
Thank you, God.
That's amazing.
And I'm assured by the surgeons which are seeing them. Actually, I got an incredible report. One of those that fell was my sister, and just before I got on this cable, I got a phone call that she just went through one of her surgeries, and she's doing really well. The fact that we're all still alive, the doctors were amazed. When we arrived at the hospital, every single one of our performers, every single one of my family members were still coherent and able to talk. If you guys don't believe in God, you should, because there's a higher being out there. And again, even though it wasn't His will that it happened, I can promise you that He's going to get the glory through it all by the miraculous healings that are going to happen over the next couple months.
Wow. Team, just like you heard Nick talk about staying focused. When we commit, we keep our focus. We don't quit. We focus on the victory. I love when he says, don't give up. You can't, it's hard to beat someone when they never give up. And Nick, we appreciate your example of never giving up. Before we give you one last round of applause, give us one great nugget that these guys, they've got big dreams for 2017. What's going to help them get to that point?
Look, I already talked about it a little bit, but I have a mind that thinks big. And if you tell me it can't be done, I'm going to prove to you that it can be done. That's right. When I sought permission to be the first person in the world to walk directly over Niagara Falls, there were 16 other wire walkers over the last 120 years that had sought permission or were currently seeking permission. Well, guess what? I was able to make it happen. I believe that God was a huge part of that and His grace, and He did get the glory out of that walk. But I also believe that it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of late hours and a lot of endurance. You know, again, I got knocked down many, many times, but I kept getting back up. Those of you that are ready to give up, you're on the verge of your greatest success.
Nick, thank you for that. I want to make sure you go to his website, and we're going to flash it up for you to see. And I got to read Nick's book. It's amazing. I'm going to make sure some of you get that, but go to the website. And great book on staying, persevering, and being it through. And Nick, in a short time, man, I can say I love you, brother.
Thanks, man. I love you guys too. Good luck, and don't give up.
All right. Let's give him a great round of applause.